It's certainly been one of the best experiences of my life. It's something that I'll always remember. It's something that I'll always cherish. And I spent about a month all in all here, and I loved every single minute of it.
3 changes being made by Leinster. Okay. Ivan Soroka's on. Special moment for that fella. There he is. Okay. Age 30, making his debut.
The gap between your two caps was the 20th of September 2013, you won the Under-20s Interpro.
Yeah.
And the 1st of March 2025, your next run out in blue.
Yeah.
Like, it's a real story of keep going, enjoying the game, and you don't know what'll happen.
Yeah, it's like it's a bit of a mad one. Like, yeah, I ended up winning the Interpro, but then kind of from that you just kind of you just don't quite make it for a lot of different reasons. Probably not being good enough being the main one, but it's a case of it does show that, you know, like if you kind of do work hard, if you put your best foot forward, if you are enjoying rugby, if you're enjoying sport, if you're enjoying being involved, that, you know, opportunities might come down the line. And for me, it happened at age 30, where it's probably a bit too late to kind of, you know, give it another crack. But I'm sure, like, once you've given it kind of your best crack, you'll be happy with it when it's all said and done and you kind of hang up the boots. But I'm just happy you'll have kind of this story to tell to your kind of kids and grandkids in a few years' time. And the kind of 10-15 minutes I played in the Aviva will probably turn into, you know, 30 or 40 minutes and probably a try or two in there as well. That'll obviously be over exaggerated, but yeah, it's a bit weird, a bit surreal, and you're kind of going into it not sure if anything's going to come from it. You could just go in for a week or two and not go anywhere, or you could go in and get a couple of games out of it, or might get a game. I just wanted the game, wanted to get a cap to kind of get that boxed off the bucket list. But yeah, no, I was kind of really happy, and definitely a call that I'll always remember.
And so then, I don't know how long you were in, you get a tap on the shoulder to say you're in the squad for the Cardiff game. How was that, and how did that come about?
Yeah, so I was kind of going into the Cardiff game with the idea that I probably wouldn't be playing. I'd probably be 24th, with the view that I might be going to South Africa. So just to get me just training for a couple of weeks, just to get up to speed with the calls and everything else. So unfortunately, Paddy took a bit of a knock in training in one of the first scrums. So as soon as I kind of saw him go down, I said, listen, I actually might be, you know, I kind of might be playing. So kind of that's when it came a bit more real. I was still working 2.5 days that week. So I was kind of like coming from here, going back to work, and then the next day I was trying to learn the calls before and after work and stuff, and it was a tricky enough week. Like, you know, it was kind of like, you know, just kind of took me back to my studies that I was doing for the previous couple of years with exams. But when the game came around, it was just a bit kind of surreal. Age 30, going, you know, driving up to UCD and kind of leaving the car outside the building there and kind of hopping on the bus and doing the pre-meeting talk with Leo, which was class. I kind of really enjoyed that, and then getting the bus down and kind of seeing, like, I know it was a game in the middle of March in the middle of Six Nations, but there was a big crowd going down to it. There was, you know, people wearing blue jerseys pretty much everywhere on the way from here to the Aviva, and then kind of once you get there, it's you just kind of straight into it. It's obviously something I would have done a few times with Clontarf with kind of AL finals and stuff, but it is different. It is something that, you know, when you get there, there's 20,000+ people there, and there's a lot of cameras and stuff there. It was something that was quite cool, but then you still don't know if you're going to come on.
And that moment where you take off the top, you have the jersey on and you're running onto the Aviva as a Leinster player, like, what was that moment like?
It's a bit of a cliche and stuff, it's a bit of a pinch yourself moment and stuff, but that's what, like, it certainly was. You're just kind of coming on and you're blocking everything out and you're just trying to not make a mistake really. But then, you know, like, we kick the ball off a goal line dropout, they make a carry, make a tackle, and once you're going to get first contact, then it's just a game of rugby. It's just a little bit quicker and a bit more physical, but yeah, you kind of feel fairly at home fairly straight away. Kind of as soon as the final whistle goes, you're like, listen, I have my cap. That's something that, like, it's mine, something that I never thought would kind of come about for me, and something that kind of is always with you that nobody will be able to kind of take away from me. So I'm kind of really happy I got that done, and yeah, it's something that I'll always remember for the rest of my life, certainly.
And at the final whistle, you go straight to your brother. I mean, it must be very cool, your first cap and your brother's on the pitch as well.
I tried to keep a lid on that, but once the final whistle goes, you get a feeling of relief. But then also that's when that emotion kind of comes over you, and then you start actually for the first time all week soaking it all in.
I'm sure Alex was the same. He wanted to keep a lid on the emotion of it all as well, because for him at the final whistle was emotional, and then he presented you with the cap and your family were in the dressing room. What was that like?
It was class. It was one of those where I thought they might do, but I didn't know, so it was a bit of a surprise. So kind of to see my family and everyone come in was fairly special again. I kind of actually, you know, I won't be embarrassed to say, I kind of broke out of the tears a little bit. I was trying to hide it, but it was very, very emotional. But then it made me feel a bit guilty in a way, because Alex made his debut during COVID. So I remember when he got the nod, I think it was Glasgow, I'm pretty sure, in the ODS they were playing. And like, I just kind of thought that, like, he would have been the setup for, you know, years. He would have done the sub-academy, the academy, you know, the injuries, would have done all the graft, and then When he finally got his nod, we weren't allowed to be there because it was COVID and it was a bubble. And even though, you know, you're being tested and retested at home yourself because they're in their little bubble, like you weren't able to be there for him, sort of thing. So that part of me kind of felt a bit guilty, but then the other side of me kind of felt very happy and proud and stuff that I could have him and my family and kind of everyone else there in the change room and kind of share the moment, really. And then the song, I did a crap song, I did Wonderwall, it wasn't great. The lads joined in, helped me out, but like I just didn't have the head to learn anything else, so I had to kind of go to one of the go-tos. Anytime I sing it in Clontarf on the bus, I get booed off, so kind of I was hoping that wouldn't be the case, but the lads were sound enough to join in and kind of help me through it, and like it was pretty special, but there was a feeling of happiness and pride, but there was also a bit of guilt because like couldn't do the same for Alex when COVID happened, but that's just kind of the way the cookie crumbles. Like.
There was another lovely celebration before the champagne was popped in Croke Park in the dressing room, before it got a bit wild.
Yeah.
There was a nice presentation made to you by Alex as well. How was that?
Yeah, it was actually savage. Like it was kind of obviously the lads just won the URC final in Croker, so I was just kind of in the background, just having the crack, enjoying it, taking a moment in. I didn't even know I didn't know I'd be getting the nod to go to the game until earlier in the week, and then kind of Coops kind of said, listen, you kind of have to go, you know, you're part of this year, so felt a bit guilty about that, but no, tagged along. It was savage crack. The lads put in some performance, and they were just in the change room after, and there was obviously a few speeches kind of being said, and then kind of out of nowhere Alex popped out a little frame with the photo of us two together from the day I got my first cap with my number on it, and yeah, it was just presented to me in front of the lads, which was again something that was pretty special. Again, I got a bit emotional about that. That's kind of in the parents' home now, just hanging up on the wall. It'll always be kind of a memory that I'll always keep with me, but it was something that again didn't see coming, kind of very much the theme of today. It's kind of just stuff coming out of the blue. I didn't see it come, but it was again another special moment and something that I'm really happy the lads organised for me.
And how do you reflect then on the time, because it was a whirlwind really in terms of you getting the call.
Yeah.
You had to take some time off work.
Yeah.
Came in, got a couple of caps. How do you reflect on it all now?
Like looking back at it now, it's something that I'm absolutely delighted I did. I was a bit apprehensive at the time because there's a lot of stuff you have to kind of realise you're balancing work. So you're unsure how much time you can get off work and how much you'll be able to commit. You're then kind of being conscious of, if I can't put in all the time, am I going to look a bit of a fool? If you're not able to kind of get all the sessions in, I'm going to be wasting people's time. Then when you go in, you're kind of like, I'm obviously coming in from an amateur setup into a pro setup on very short notice. How are you going to fit in there? And then you've kind of got all the doubts, but kind of once you come in, like it's a case of, since the second you come in, the front doors, everyone's so nice and helpful, and they take you under their wing, from, you know, the lads that are playing, the backroom staff, the coaches, the S&C, the nutritionists, pretty much like the social media guys, pretty much everyone's so good at taking you on board, so it kind of helps you acclimatise pretty quick, and you do end up kind of fitting in, I can't say seamlessly, but again, you end up fitting in the kind of the best way you can, and it's something that I'm really, really glad I did. I wouldn't kind of take it back if, you know, if I could go back to 3 or 4 months and I could get that call off Woody and Leo again, I'd certainly do it all over again. It's just kind of one of those things where it's a bit of a bittersweet. You kind of know it's over and you're going back to the real world, but it's something that, you know, I spent about a month all in all here, you know, kind of week and a half, 2 weeks here, and then maybe 2.5, 3 weeks in South Africa, so maybe a month and a half, like maybe 4 or 5 weeks that I was in altogether, and I loved every single minute of it.